Hello and welcome back to another Back to Basics using ComputerCraft. This time we're going to talk about if statements. And an if statement is simply a way that you can check to see whether something is true, and if it is true, then you can do one thing, and if it's not true, you can either do something else or just do nothing at all. So there's a ton of ways that you can use if statements. The first one that we're going to show, that I'll show briefly, is how you can use an if statement to check to see what the block in front of you is. So if you want to check to see what the block in front of you is, first you need to give your little turtle the block that you want to find. So right now he's in front of some copper and he's got some gold ore. And we want to check to see if he's got old ore, and gold ore, not old ore. Old ore is not in the game yet. I think that's the next patch. It severely increases your aging. I don't know what it does. Gold. So gold ore. We want to check for gold ore. So let's go ahead and write an if function. And we'll do a compare. We'll make a new function called compare. And so it's going to be a very simple if function. First we need to select the slot that we want to compare against. So we want to select slot 1. And then we're going to do a very simple if. So if turtle compare then. And so what this is going to do is it's going to run a compare function. And the compare function simply compares what's in the selected slot, which is going to be 1, with what's in front of it. And if it's the same, it'll return true. And if it's different, it'll return false. So here, if it's true, then that means there's gold in front of us. And we want that gold, the wonderful, precious gold. So we're going to do a turtle.dig. Now, if it's not true, you could just do an end here. And at this point, it would get the gold if there was gold and do absolutely nothing if there wasn't gold. But since we want to do an example here, we're going to do an else. So this means if this isn't true, if there's no gold there, then we're going to do something else. So in this case, we're just going to have him hop up and down angrily. We'll do a turtle.up and a turtle.down. So now, if there is gold, he'll dig, and if there's not gold, he'll jump up and down in a fit of absolute rage. So let's run this, and he should jump up and down because there's not gold in front of him. So we ran if, and nothing happened. Now, if you've looked at the function tutorial from earlier, you'll realize that we created the function, but we didn't call it. So let's just run compare, and now it should call our function that we did. So he should jump up and down. Yep, okay, so there's no gold in front of him. Now we can use a loop that we showed in one of the previous episodes. I think it was we'll use the for loop. And what we want to do is we want him to compare all the way down the line here. So we're going to do for a equals, I don't know, we'll just do 10. Do, and the first thing we want him to do is compare, and then we want him to shift down one block. So we want him to turn right, go forward 1, turn left, and then go back to the beginning. So we'll do turtle, turn right, turtle forward, turtle turn left, and that's it, actually. Done. Because what it'll do is it'll do the compare, it'll go to the right one block, and then it'll go back and do the compare again. So he should go all the way down the line, checking each block and mining for the gold. So let's see if he does it. Okay, good job. Okay, so this is one way that you can check to see what's the mining turtles in front of, mine only specific blocks. You can have him go down a shaft and look around and see what's in front of him and only mine the blocks that we care about. But there's so many other ways you can use Go. So why don't I show another one? And this is going to not be a full example. It's not going to be 100% usable, but what it'll be is it'll be kind of like a little shop you can make pretty simply. So go left. So the idea behind this is going to be we're going to have him check for whether he was given an emerald or a ruby, and if he was given an emerald or a ruby, then we want him to dispense the item that you've bought. So like, let's say an emerald will buy you an iron chest plate, and a ruby will buy you an iron axe, for example. So here's what we would do. We're going to do edit if2. In fact, why don't we give a way of putting some items in here. So now we've got a transposer. We can throw our item, our emerald or our ruby, into the transposer, and he'll get it here. And then after he's gotten the item, we want him to take the payment and put it somewhere else. So we'll put another transposer here on the other side, and we want that to go into just a chest. So he's going to put the payment out into the chest. So let's look at the code that we can use for this. So first we want him to keep checking over and over again to see if he's got an emerald or a ruby. So we want him to do this forever. And if turtle.get item count 1 is the emerald. If it's more than 1, so that means someone's given us an emerald because now we have 2 or more. So if it's more than 1, then we want to do turtle select, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and turtle.drop. We want to drop 1 iron chest plate. It doesn't really matter because it's not stackable, but we'll just do a drop 1 to make it safer. We can also do an else if, and that says, so if this is more than 1, then drop the iron armor. But if this is otherwise, if this is more than 1, then drop the axe. So now we'll do turtle get item count 2 is more than 1. Then turtle select 5 turtle drop 1. Now, the problem with this code right now, and I'm going to have to make a change, is our emerald will be 2, and he'll drop the chest plate. The chest plate will actually go into the chest, and that's where we're supposed to store the emerald. And also, the emerald will still be 2, so he'll still be trying to drop things over and over again. So what we need to do is instead of just dropping this into the chest, we want him to drop it for us onto the floor. So we're going to say turtle, I don't know, turn right. So now what he'll do is he'll turn to the right, he'll spit out the item we've bought here, and then we want him to, after he spit it out, to turn back left. Now this should be a function, I think. I should have made this a function because it's getting a little bit long and repetitive, but we'll go back to the function area and you can check it out there. So turn right, so now he's going to drop out the axe on the floor, and turtle turn left. So the last thing that we want to do is someone's given us an extra emerald. And so what we want to do now is we want to take that emerald and put it into this chest over here. So let's go ahead and drop that 1 emerald. So we're going to say turtle select. Now they've given us an emerald, so we have 2 emeralds now. So we're going to select 1, and turtle, we're going to drop 1 emerald. That's what the drop 1 means. We're going to drop 1 of them. And here they've given us a ruby. So we'll do turtle select 1 and, or sorry, the ruby is 2, is slot 2. Select 2 and turtle drop 2. So hopefully, if this works correctly, if we give him an emerald, he'll drop he'll turn to the right and drop a chest plate, and then turn back to the left and put the emerald that he got into the chest. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. We're going to put our ruby here and our emerald here, and we'll give him the emerald first. He should turn to the right, hopefully. Oh, what's he doing? He's got 2. Oh, I didn't run the program. Okay, we need to run the program. And in fact, before I run this program, why don't we put a little delay in here so he's not checking all the time. OS sleep 1. So he'll sleep 1 second between checking. So let's give him the emerald. Oh, I still didn't run it. If 2. He spits out our armor, and he puts the emerald into the chest. So let's go ahead and restock him. We'll give the armor back to him. Now we'll give him the ruby, and he should give us, there's our axe. Beautiful. And we'll give him another emerald, and he should pop out there's our iron chest plate. So there you have it. That's an easy way of, if you want to check to see whether or not we've been given. I see that the axe actually was picked up by this transposer. I think it's been put at yes. So there's some bugs we can still work out, but there's a very easy way of checking to see if this turtle has been given an item and to do different things based on the item he's been given. So hopefully that helps you out to understand a little bit more about if statements. Next time we're going to be talking about variables because sometimes there's data that you want to keep track of. Maybe you want to keep track of how many emeralds you've been given, or how far down you've gone, or how far up you've gone. And the way you do that is with variables. So until next time, we'll look to see you then, and until then, happy computing.